OP says, what's the difference between you and an alarm clock? And she says, I would not like to be touched or turned on by you.
Yeah, you just got rejected. REJECTED, rejected.
Hello, friends. Trace amounts of science. Welcome back to ReddX. Today we're getting back into r/Tinder. Yes, indeed. It's been a little while. I put up a compilation, but ain't nothing like something hot and fresh fried right for you, right? Ain't that right, Gubbins? Ain't talking to me today. That's fine. Even friends fight sometimes. We'll just go ahead and get into the video. Maybe he'll get over it at some point in the middle. Also, hey, thanks so much for being here today. This OP says, I thought I had rizz. Who told you that, your mother? He replied to some pic of a girl standing next to a suit of armor. And he says, how'd you get him to pose for this? Suits and armor are notoriously shy. And she said, don't you know it's just a piece of armor? Duh, no, I didn't. He's trying to have some fun, you cornball. Try not to curse this early in the video. OP says, nah, I've seen way too many Scooby-Doo mysteries to believe all that. And she sends a thumbs up and says, be a sane person. Yeah, be normal like the rest of us. Fuck you. You can't fit me into your little box. Well, the cursing thing went out the window, right?
No more saying cuss words, guys. It's inappropriate and violent.
As soon as I stated it out loud. Oh well, keep being you, OP. You're too good for her anyways. We're moving on. OP says, chat, did I cook? She said, hiya. And he said, karate motherfuckers when they hit something.
I hope you like pain. Pain!
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I think chat liked it. I think they did. This OP says, Miss Big Britches over here. Is that a fat joke? She says, you can't be 34 and still figuring out your relationship goals, skull emoji. Also, I have no desire to be a wicked stepmother at the tender age of 27. Yeah, I can tell 30's freaking you right out, isn't it? She's like, my biological clock is ticking. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Probably be lonely forever. OP says, sweetie, you can't act this way and be like a 3 out of 10 at best. Holy shit.
Damn!
Actually, who the fuck matches with someone just to tell them that they aren't interested? Well, I guess that explains why you're single. And will be in perpetuity. That was goodness. Some straight up savagery. You didn't have to do it to her, OP. You really didn't. But I'm glad that you did. Next post. Another OP asking for the approval of the peanut gallery. Always a mistake. Who cares? I said a thing. I thought it was funny. You enjoyed it? You didn't? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep making it. She says, it's a TMM problem, which I don't get. But he sends a laughing emoji and then says, so, what are you doing on here? And she says, just bored. And OP says, bored? In this economy? Good joke. Jokes aside, though, I thought we could maybe hold hands and make out. And she said, you have an Android? And he said, whoa there. I have both. And she said, why? And he says, because Android's more flexible, while iPhones are more stable. I have uses for both. Plus, I keep one for work and one for personal, so it's not a complete waste. Wait, I just remembered, does the phone have to do with us making out? And she said, I FaceTime people before linking, so we can't if you're Android gang. And OP says, ah, now I understand the mentally ill thing from your bio.
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill, which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital.
Yeah, I have standards. I basically have to be able to video call someone. But only specifically through this proprietary app. We can't possibly do it through Messenger where we're talking right now. It's fucking ridiculous. What are you talking about? We've seen at least one of these for like the past 3-4 Tinder videos, and I'm just amazed it keeps happening. I don't understand it one little bit. And every single day I am reminded to just be very grateful. Very grateful that I don't have to play this fucking game no more. If you're still out there, keep your chin up, you know? Stiff up a lip. Never let them see you sweat. Definitely don't give in and buy an iPhone. Then they win. Anyway, this OP says, interesting hobbies. She says, thanks. And OP says, what type of things are you into? And she says, bondage, like knife play and blood and like slapping. OP says, I like salsa music.
Dude, I'm telling you, she's completely psycho. Okay, she's in my house.
Well, she's definitely into some spicy things. I thought we were going to take this slow and treat each other like people, but she's like, just come over to my house and cut me. I'm like, well, you don't have hepatitis, do you? I guess that's a good question to ask. I love OP's response. He's just, I was not ready for all that. Blood? You are ill. You are deeply ill, but I can't fix it. Neither can OP. I suggest everybody move on. This OP said, it took a month, but it worked. She said, I'm deathly afraid of horror movies. Also, you're really handsome. And OP said, let's cut the small talk. When can I pin you against the wall like a piece of art? And she said, I'm ready now. Yeah, 1 month later. Sure, why not? You get your ticket and you stand in line. Good luck with it. That's what I say. This OP says, I was not expecting that. She said, I'm gonna be straight with you. I got a date tonight with a girl that I've been talking to, and if all goes well, I might be deleting my apps. If it doesn't, I'll likely come back. And she said, I have the worst luck dating. I respect you for telling me. Have a good time. He says, I know the feeling. I've been rejected and stood up a lot already, and you're hoping for the other girl that you're talking to pump you up. I don't know if that's the way to go, man. You know how I pump myself up? 4 shots of vodka in the parking lot. We're gonna pregame this fucking Sizzler trip. We're gonna enjoy a delicious bowl of clam chowder. And 30 minutes later, we're parking the beef bus in Tuna Town, if you know what I mean. Classic. Only the classiest around here. OP says, for me, it's mostly just been people ghosting me, so I'm glad that at least this time it didn't result in that. And he said, I've got a bit more dignity than that. Oh yeah, I'm too dignified to be ghosted. It's physically impossible to ghost this guy because he has royal blood. OP's nice though. She asked, so did it go well? And he said, it did. Want to make a final effort to win me over? Because I'm probably going to delete my dating apps otherwise, not going to lie. And she said, I think if I have to make a final effort in this scenario, it's probably not meant to be, but I wish you and her a lifetime of happiness. And she said, shame. You've been fun to pin down and breed.
Know what I am back at the ranch? I'm a breeding bull. What's that? You gonna find out.
Goodbye, doll. And she said, that's crazy. Which literally it is. Just on the way out the door, you're gonna hit him with that. Well, let's all take a free action to wipe the sweat from our brows, tug at our collars nervously, and go, yeesh. Dodged the fucking bullet there, didn't we? What are you talking about? I mean, I guess I know what he's talking about, but why'd he say it out loud? Okay, whatever. Moving on. OP says, I'm still not over this one. And she asks, are you a crime-fighting vigilante? And he says, I'm Batman. 24/7, 365? Nah, just weeknights and some Saturdays. And she said, like the PJ Masks. Excellent.
Cause bedtime is the right time to fight crime.
I can't think of a rhyme.
Oh, my kids never really got into PJ Masks. There was a brief stint. Just didn't stick. Superhero bullshit's all out the window. OP says, so what else do you do besides saving the world? And he says, I go to the gym. I run a multi-billion-dollar organization. Oh, and I do it with bats. They don't call me Batman for nothing. She says, question mark, Lamau. Yeah, I don't know if it was a joke, honestly. She says, I was not expecting that. And he said, that's some deep lore. I never heard that before. And she said, yeah, I don't remember that in the movies. And he said, the bats are shy. They don't like being filmed. Well, he definitely got a little too into character, sort of dropped the ball, but yeah, I'm probably going to think about this one for a long time too. There were no viruses born inside of a bat soup. It was just a bat that was making foul soup where the viruses were born. You know what I'm talking about? Batty little snail trail. God. Yeah, they don't like being filmed though. Nobody will ever know. Nat Geo doesn't even have footage. Thank God for that, honestly. Anyway, whatever. I gotta keep it moving. This OP says, this felt a bit too easy. Probably a bot. He said, dude, A+ for the bio. Is that everything I should know, or did Tinder limit your words? And she said, thank you. Tinder limited my words. And he said, in that case, go ahead, girl. Hit me with that autobiography. And she said, I could do that over coffee, winky face. I mean, yeah, that was pretty easy. Sometimes it is just shooting fish in a barrel. Maybe she'll be worth meeting. You never can tell. I do enjoy a word nerd. Anyway, next post, Soapy says, well, that was a fun convo. Your opening move, hiya, what's your favorite color? And he says, date suit. And she says, I don't know that color. And he said, damn, I like gray. You? And she says, huh, gray's an interesting choice. I like yellow. He says, I hate yellow. What's wrong with yellow, dude? Like one of the happiest colors there is. Gray is your answer? I guess it really does, paint you as a person.
Your dream is just everyone on the omnibus, grey, eating grey sludge.
I bet you guys will never guess my favorite color. It's red. I think. Sort of like red-green colorblind, so the way I see red is different than the way most people see it. But to me, red looks really awesome, so no judgment for picking. OP says, I'm surprised this worked. Yeah, a lot of people getting surprised. Like, wow, people are actually here to match on Tinder. Yeah, sometimes, maybe. If you don't talk about doing it with bats or something weird. OP says, continue the lyrics. Country roads. And she says, take me home, ? And OP says, take you to my home. Say less. And she says, honestly, screw it. Sure. And he says, send your number. And indeed, she sends her number. Sometimes that's all it takes. We both know of John Denver. Let's mash our genitals together. Okay. I guess it's a way you could go. Just the sort of mistakes that we get up to at 2 a.m., isn't it? Oh, yes. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads.
Here we go, my honey.
I bet you don't know more than the chorus, do you? You both know only the chorus and you're going to smush because of it. It's idiocracy in action. I'm not mad. I'm mournful. Continuing on. This OP says, this is why I have notifications off. You got a message from some dude and Tinder's like, enable push notifications. How about no and fuck no? He says, respectfully, King Arthur himself could not pull me out of you. Oh, classy.
If you are able to draw the sword from the stone, I will make love to you.
What if I could just move it an inch? Will you touch me?
It's like almost a literary reference, but he really only got it from watching a kid in King Arthur's court when he was like 3 years old or something. It's a pretty gross way to go, but then again, his name is Francis, I think, so what can you expect from Francis? I'm sorry, that's Sir Francis with the weak pull-out game. Yes, everyone gather around. King Arthur's there, Lady Guinevere. That's neat. I'm really glad we could inject some culture into this one. Sort of. This OP says, behold! Instead of a guy holding a fish, here's a fish holding a guy. Oh, that's some good Photoshop, isn't it? He got some big old hands and just cropped himself right out. Stuck himself in the hands. How much would you pay for Photoshop work like this? I'd pay like 50, 60 cents. Together we could look at art, travel, ride, hike, be lazy, hike, camp, lift weights, ski, watch. Yeah, he's very outdoorsy is what he's saying. If you're looking for a fucking normie, this is your guy right here. Go ahead. Go fishing together. He's not gonna beat you over the back of the head with the oar when you're not looking. That's something only a crazy person would do. Same sort of crazy person that would Photoshop hands onto a fish and... Yeah, I see this for what it is. Be careful out there, ladies. Next one. This OP says, spotted in the wild. we'll get along if I only like generous men. Oh, see, sometimes the gold diggers are up front. All right, I appreciate you. I'm gonna swerve the fuck out of you, of course, but respectfully. Not down to earth at all. Yeah, super high maintenance. My idea of a good relationship is determined, for example, by the number of Cartier jewels you buy me, so please move on if it's a problem for you. Yeah, just buy me a bunch of free shit. I don't want to build anything with you. You just give your resources to me for basically no reason whatsoever. I think that's a terrible deal. I buy Cartier jewels every single fucking month so I can keep a 7 hanging around. And even that's probably generous. People might disagree with me. Really, she's pretty, ReddX. No. Once the makeup comes off, I guarantee you she's not. Guarantee you're looking at something completely average and unimpressive. Maybe worth jewels to somebody, but not to me. Not with that fucking attitude. Although she did say please move on, so respectfully I will. Good luck out there, you hot mess. This OP says, this made me swipe left. Oh, it's an about me. It's sort of a what not to do. I haven't been on a date in 5 years because nobody will even match with me. There's nothing wrong with me. That's reassuring. I can talk to women just fine. I'm not a creep and I don't love Bob. I just do not get a single chance ever. Yeah. Won't somebody pity him and give him a chance? Surely he'll have interesting things to say if we can only get past the self-loathing. We'll never get past the self-loathing. You don't care about how much I make, but I do. I work my ass off to get here. I bought a fast car because it's fun to drive, and I'm proud of it. I bought a house. I'm doing big things, but nobody to share it with because it's 2025, and nobody on Tinder is good enough for you women. Like, if you just look like you were having fun, showing off some of the things, maybe a little showing off, it don't hurt so much, you know? Maybe a little showing off, it's not such a bad idea, you know? I think women would come across that profile of you in a fast car and say, I want to be a part of it. It looks like that guy's having fun. But if you got pictures of the fast car and then a bio like this, it's just like, man, nobody likes me.
You can take yourself out of this existential nightmare.
I don't want to spend another single second with you, honestly. Sad boy energy, not the vibe. Not since like 2000 something, alright? It was a time. Emo boy days are over, though.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
We gotta move on from that. At least, you know, a little bit. You still listen to it sometimes. What I do know is sitting out here bitching about it, that ain't gonna help nobody. Pull yourself together, son. And we're gonna keep it moving. This OP says, and I wonder why I'm single. April matched with Jordan, and Jordan said, it's a little late to be free tonight. And she said, matter of opinion. And he said, well, there's only 2 things open after midnight. And he said, your mom and McDonald's? You should have reversed the order, but yeah, nice one. Sick burn. He says, not bad, but no. Denny's and legs. And I take it you're not a Denny's. And she sends a gift that says, bitch, I might be. Yeah, serving out roast beef sandwiches all day. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are fun. I'm glad you're having fun. Nobody ever followed through on any of this conversation. It was just a bunch of people sitting around talking shit. And I know something about that. So yeah, nice shots fired all around. That was fun. Now, let's move on with our lives and not pretend this was anything more than it was. Okay, next OP says, glad I helped her dodge a bullet. Well, that is helpful. She says, you're good. I was putting all my plants out. Ha ha. Lol. What a loser. And OP says, why, lol? You didn't reply. And OP says, what was I not replying to? And she said, putting my plants out? Duh, you tard. And OP says, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't find your plants as interesting as you do, all right? I can only apologize. So I'm super, super sorry that me nor anybody else in the world truly gives a fuck about your plants. She's willing to burn down the world on behalf of those plants, though. She's like poison ivy, keeping in the Batman theme. And if you don't think she's spitting vitriol quite yet, just you wait. She says, Lamau, you and that small dong of yours, like, way too small. And you're way too fugly and, like, stupid and stuff. See ya. Thanks for helping me dodge this bullet. I mean, you're the one who let a fugly mouth breather inside of you for a night, so I don't know. I don't know who's really losing in this situation.
The audacity! The unmitigated gall!
Sorry about your plants, again. Maybe they can give you the comfort that Daddy never did. Aw, now I made myself a little sad. Who cares? Keep it rolling. Water off a duck is what I say. This OP says, I think this best sums up why I'm single. She says, do you want to do breakfast or coffee? And he says, what day and time? And she said, I mean this in the most respectful way, but I'm a mom and a personal trainer who plans people's lives every day. I don't want someone who looks to me to plan stuff or doesn't have a lead for me to follow. And OP says, cool. I told you what times I work and when I'm free. If next week during the morning works, then I'm trying to figure out when would work best so we can actually make a plan. I'm not asking you to plan anything. And I mean this in the most respectful way. I work 60 plus hours a week writing mortgages for people all over the country. It's not unreasonable to ask you to communicate like an adult should so that we can make plans. Wow, that really escalated quickly, didn't it?
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
You just admonished her? How dare you look to me to make the plans? I don't have time to make the plans. Well, look, for this relationship to work, somebody has to step up and make the fucking plans. So, I guess it's just not gonna work. And that's fine, too. She's acting like a petulant child. You're acting like a disciplinary father figure. I'd say pretty weird all around. But whatever works, you know? Different strokes to move the world and that stuff. So, I don't know, do what you do. I don't give a shit anymore. Exposed. Opie says, some men don't know when to quit. Yeah, we've seen a few. Gosh, you're freaking beautiful AF. And OP says, oh, you got me blushing. And he said, gosh, let me take you out and spoil you. Oh, heart hands emoji. And she says, sounds good to me. And he says, really? She says, absolutely. What'd you have in mind? I mean, who the fuck doesn't want to be spoiled? That's a pretty good offer if you'd ask me. Except, you know, there's some subtext about what comes after the spoiling part. Oh, God. Time to pay this fucking bill. Too rich for my blood. And he says, go out on a date night and show you off and buy you a bouquet of flowers. And OP says, yeah, that would be really wonderful. When are you free? Is there a day next week that you'd want to take me out? And he says, Monday? And she says, sure, I can make that work. Where are we going? Taco Bell! Lol, I'm kidding.
Come on, you guys. I'm gonna buy us the most expensive meal we've ever had. Yeah, I'd like 6,000 chicken fajitas, please.
It might be fun. They're probably gonna end up at a Taco Bell. He says, TBH, I do love Taco Bell, though. And he says, lol, same, but I'm not sure yet. Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. He says, yeah, no worries. And he says, you got nice tits, by the way. Ha ha ha. Well, he doesn't have to think about it anymore. I would hate to go on a date to Taco Bell with you. What's with all these people fronting that they fucking love Taco Bell? What do you love about it? What is there to love about it? It's shitty food and it's overpriced. I'm not stoned enough to go to a Taco Bell. I haven't been that stoned in decades. Anyway, yeah. Enjoy the tacos, you crazy kids. This OP had a unique experience trying Tinder in Indonesia. Safety update. Based on your geographical location, it appears you're in a place where the LGBTQ plus community may be penalized. We want you to have fun, but your safety is our #1 priority. Please proceed with caution and take extra care when making new matches and meeting with people you don't know. People you have already liked may still see your profile and match with you. Don't show me in this location or show me in this location. Huh. How easy do I want to make it for people to penalize me for my identity? Don't show me in this location. That's a pretty easy choice to make, isn't it? One of those when in Rome situations. You keep your head down. You're like, I'm not getting involved. Sometimes people, Filipino friends and neighbors ask me what I think about this or that politically, and I say, nope, we're not going there. I might let squeak a little bit about American politics and my disdain for it, but Filipino politics, I touch that one with a 10-foot pole. They will deport me, okay? Lord, I seen it. Families broken apart over Facebook posts. No thanks. I'm good. Don't show me in this location. Next post. This OP says, but if she would have asked me about my personality, the one thing I'd love to know about you is, do you have a pool? And OP says, no, but if you would have asked me about a jacuzzi. And she said, oh, a jacuzzi does sound nice. And OP says, if you would have asked me about a jacuzzi, I would have still said no, unfortunately.
Got him!
You match just to tell her this? Hey, by the way, you're a shallow bitch. I got that thing that you want, but you can't come over and use it. You'll never be able to use it. I want you to sleep with that in your head every single night. It's sort of dastardly, but also I'm sort of into it. Good job, OP. You can't be shallow and not have it thrown in your face from time to time. That's just the price we pay. Anyway, this OP says, I am just as confused as she is. I recently discovered that I'm totally a lesbian, but I still like to do it with a man, like once a week. XO.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
That's quite a setup you're looking for. I'm sure there's no lack of volunteers. Although I would argue this is sort of more of a bi thing, but people get to pick their own labels these days. You know what I mean?
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I'm Rick Harrison, and this is my pod shop.
Call yourself whatever you want. Be as confused as you want, because none of it means anything anyways. All right? Just friendly reminder. Next post, OP says, never received anything like this before. Was told to post it here. Oh, maybe something novel in r/Tinder? No, probably not. Let's see. Dude comes out of left field and says, I can't wait for your documentary to come out. I love murder mysteries, so don't tell me about how you do it, because I don't want spoilers. Oh, you swiped on one of the goth chicks, didn't you? I'm totally gonna have a true crime podcast about us. Yeah, awesome. Miss me with that. I'm doing too well to want that at the moment. But OP responds and says, murder mystery documentary. I'm so very confused. And he said, you're the star of the show, duh. When's your sentencing? Maybe we can meet before you go away for life. This is really weird. You're trying to do like some sort of LARP thing? Was it related to the bio at all? Weird play, but I guess we'll see if it works out for him, Johnny. OP says, is this the setup for a pickup line or something? And he says, no. It would have been better if he said yes. And then he sends hearts emojis, and she says, I don't have a sentencing. I live a very happy and normal life. Do I have the same name as someone famous or something? Yes, his name is Schmitty Woben Jägerman Jensen. I didn't think anybody had the same name.
He was number 1!
OP says, no, it's just, you got a very creepy, murderous face, and I thought maybe you were like a killer that hadn't been caught yet, and TBH, that's kind of hot. You have problems. You got a lot of problems. Tinder's not going to fix them, all right? Naughty internet videos isn't going to fix them. You got a lot of work to do. Don't you think it's time we started? Just a little bit? OP just says, yeah, thanks. That's definitely not a compliment I've heard before. Usually people compliment my eyes or something. You're very cute, though. Trying to bring this back around. Bless her little heart, you know? OP says, is this like one of your proclivities or something? And he said, no, it's not a kink. I'm with my friends right now, and we all agree that you look like somebody who would end somebody else. But I'm also weirdly into it. So I want to make sure that you're not like Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy would have told you that he was Ted Bundy if you just asked him. Sometimes it is that simple.
Well, I'm sure it works, and you've got to have faith it'll work, or else you'd be reduced to some kind of, mumbling idiot.
OP says, okay, well, my fiance's pretty happy with me, and so are my friends. As per my profile, I'm in an open relationship. Oh my. I'm glad you're enjoying that for now. I'm trying to be encouraging, goddammit, but I just can't. Tinder's a mess, your relationship's a ruse, this entire thing is a failure pile in a sadness bowl. I don't know how much longer I can gaze into the void, alright? I swear I'm not mad, I'm a little mad. I'm mostly disappointed, though. What? You're gonna pull somebody else into your own shit pile and just change them irreparably because they had this experience. And I know some people say open relationship, 2 thumbs up. I just don't believe it, bro. I'm sorry, bro. They almost always end in tragedy, if not, you know, outright violence. Anyway, he says, yeah, that's a good cover. And OP says, if you're into it, though, then fair enough. Everyone has their thing, I suppose. And he said, you could kidnap women and then end them. And OP said something back, but we don't get to hear that. Literally, he could have said anything. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, bro. Want to do it next weekend? What did you say? I'm getting sus vibes from everybody involved. I don't want to be on the internet no more, bro. It's just sad. It's lonely, fucking bleak.
That's enough internet for me today. I am going to wash myself to get rid of all the stupidity I saw.
Everybody has to keep their ego intact, so it's like nobody can be themselves, and I don't know, I'm fucking tired of it. I've grown so tired, you see. I'm just old and I'm unhappy, but at least a couple more of these will help me prepare for the big sleep. I'll lay down and say, God, it's the kind of tired that sleep won't fix. Which is a shirt we have over on our 4th wall. Hey, while we're plugging things, why not Spotify, iTunes? Why not? Check us out, ReddX Reddit readings, or something like that. Though it's not exclusively Reddit. There's a lot of green text over there. It gets a lot of play. Check it out if you like internet shit posts as much as I do. Anyway, yeah, great time for a plug after the Ted Bundy guy. But we'll continue on. This OP says, I hate it here. Oh, me too, son. Let me tell you something. I'd just like to have a big lie down. I broke my hip, my life alert didn't go off. I'm laying here for 3 days dying of thirst, but it's still not as painful as an hour in r/Tinder, bearing witness to the evils of the world. I really am channeling Grandpa ReddX right now. You have to want better for yourself, kids. God damn it. This OP says, hey, yo, what kind of flowers should I bring you for our first date? Thinking emoji. Oh, yeah, super slick. She says, I don't know. And OP says, is that a way of saying you don't have a favorite flower, or would just any do? See, once we get past the opening line, everything falls apart. It's just like exponentially degrades. Anyway, the girl says, I'm really not like too into flowers, but you could get me like an apple pan or like some smoking flowers. Yes, I've matched with you. Now bring me drugs, if you'd please. What? That is ludicrous. I'm sure we've seen it before, but not often. And yeah, it just really puts a damper on your faith in humanity, you know? OP thought he got a match, that something magical was going to happen. He wanted to buy her flowers. She's just like, I'd rather you send me money and don't actually interact with me. It is depressing as shit. All he wants is a human connection. But you're not going to make it online. People don't make connections through their phones, really. You gotta go out and talk to your neighbor. Say, hello, how are you today? And you have to affect that timbre when you do it, because that's how all my neighbors think I talk. Continuing on. This OP says, I never thought I'd have one to post, but here it is! You seem really excited. Anyway, dude says, now I just be in my bubble, chasing a bag and being a dad. And OP says, how many kiddos do you have? And he says, 7. Grimacing emoji, blushing emoji. And then she says, what, for real? And he said, yeah, and they got 6 different mothers. That's the Virgo in me. Yeah, I don't know why I'm a piece of shit, because I was born under a star sign. And then after that, we get a black guy shrugging emoji, which I don't know if it bears mentioning, but I am going to mention it here. He says, I hate liars, and I tell the truth when I should lie. Lol. Yeah, you tell the truth about when the child support payments are showing up? Oh, they're not? Well, that's a different story. Hope you're having fun out here on Tinder. I guess, yeah, at least he is honest. I have a motherfucker to tell somebody they got 7 kids out there. Oh my god.
What are you doing with your life?
You are a walking dumpster fire and you don't even realize it. I don't like Virgos. If we're gonna go down the star sign game, yeah. I don't know how to gauge them most of the time. So I choose to just avoid them completely. Well advised, as you should too, OP. Clearly she did. She's like, I'm just gonna show Reddit. This is fucking wild. You're right, it is. And my depression only deepens. This OP says, sorry, not sorry. This lady's 26 and she says, I got 2 kids and herpes and smoke ice. If you don't like that, swipe left. Sorry, not sorry.
Damn, bitch, you live like this? Well, couldn't be me, that's for sure.
Yeah, bro, you just started smoking ice is what I can tell. If you've been doing that since you were 16, 18, well, let's just say I'm glad that you still have the choice to turn it all around, okay? Think of the kids, you raggedy bitch! He doesn't. Having kids really is one of the things that truly put my life on track. Lit a fire under my ass in a way that nothing else could. I'm like, oh, now if I fuck around, I'm not just messing up my life, I'm messing up his life. I gotta give him the best life possible. And still working on it, but it's a lot better than it was. And thank you guys so much for that. Truly, the people who watch and support these videos, like, I don't know if I tell you how often, how grateful I am for you, but truly, you're such a fucking blessing in my life. And then I need somebody from the audience to shout out, ha! Gay! To break the tension, okay? This OP says, it's truly a mystery how I don't get more matches. He says, a life goal of mine is to marry a rich man. And OP said, who's rich and what does he have that I haven't got? Like Richard. That's funny. She says, I'll fall for you if you wait for my sentence to finish without interrupting. And OP says, sorry, I got bored halfway through that sentence, but look at this cool fish. That is pretty neat. He's a puffer fish, which I think is symbolic of your approach toward all of these women. Want to get a little armchair psychology? No, we're not going to. We'll keep it moving. She says, I'm looking for a full-time man. And OP says, sorry, I'm only part-time. The rest of the time, I'm a jellyfish. That's comical. You do seem like the invertebrate sort. Here's a picture of a girl and some donkeys, and OP says, you can touch my ass as well if you... She doesn't. She never will. But at least it wasn't a donkey show joke, you know? Like, we could always go a little more blue with it, but I don't know if that's putting the best foot forward. I guess it depends what she's into. She says, I'm absolutely convinced that everything's a competition, and OP says, I can buy me a puppy better than you. Eyes emoji. I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Girl says, my most irrational fear is whales. And OP says, what about Scotland or Ireland? It's Wales. It's a geography joke. Like, he's clearly a funny guy, but I don't know. At a certain point, let's turn it off. You're trying to make a human connection. Maybe turn the facade down. I don't know how people do it nowadays. Maybe it's all fucking post-ironic irony and sarcasm. But the truth is, if you want to make a real, genuine human connection with people, lay your soul bare. So what if they shit in it? We'll hose it out. That's fine. Some people might say that I cope with humor too, though. And I would say, yeah, that's a load-bearing coping mechanism. We can't touch that. This girl said, my most irrational fear is butterflies, but it's 100% valid. And OP says, are you also scared of caterpillars? Or is it just the self-improvement that you hate? Jesus.
Would you like some aloe vera? You just got burned.
Yeah, claws out. Wow. She had to sit and think about her life after that. She says, I'm weirdly attracted to knees. And OP says, want to watch me do the stanky leg real quick? Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Oh, yes. Mwah. Topical. 10-year-old memes are like what I live for, so I have to like this one. I'm sorry. She says, one thing I'd love to know about you is what are your values of life? And OP says, spend 50s, pet kitties, visit cities. Yeah, and it rhymes, so that wins extra point. Again, like, I think you'd be serving yourself much better if you legitimately answered the question. But then you wouldn't get the precious Reddit karma. Oh goodness, gotta soak up all that 2,000 Reddit karma. And a lifetime partner would be a better reward, but I don't know. You pick your own battles. You don't have to listen to anything I say. I'm only here because I get paid to say it. And this girl says, the one thing I'd love to know about you is the TV/movie character you relate to most and why. And he said, Brian Griffin, because I'm a dog. Jesus Christ. Right now I relate the most to Beetlejuice because I wish I was fucking dead.
It's showtime.
I hate that answer. More than any of the other answers, honestly. It's lazy, it's not clever, everyone's dumber for having listened to it. Last one, she says, my favorite off-brand LGBTQIA plus icon is Stewie Griffin. And OP says, do you want to be the Brian to my Stewie? Yeah, because she already has herpes. Check it out, it's canonically correct. Oh, that's funny. Like, I do love Family Guy, but after a certain point, come the fuck on. It's like one of those nothing burger shows full of quick jokes and you don't have to think about it too much. Put it on while you're gaming in the background or editing. I mean, if you don't have any new ReddX videos to watch or something like that, it's impossible. But yeah, I just want to stop deifying basically any medium of entertainment, okay? It's a fun thing to watch, okay, sure, but I think a lot of people make it more than it is. Stewie Griffin's a funny TV character, not an LGBTQ icon, alright? Anyway, to wrap it up, I guess he's a relatively funny guy, but I don't know, man. Sometimes you gotta just turn it off. Sometimes you gotta really make a legitimate answer to some of these questions. I understand your pain, and that's why I have to advise you on it, because I've been here before, alright? You gotta open yourself up a little bit. Probably won't. Whatever. This OP says, now what? Do you like the zoo? Sorry, what I meant is, do you want to go on 2 or 3 awkward dates and then the 4th one being the zoo? And he said, I like the zoo. We can go to the zoo all 4 times if you want. I'm trying to get their entire collection of overpriced animal plushies that also goes to help the World Wildlife Foundation. They have a panda on the tag, so it's good for the earth, see? I gotta pay the extra 20 bucks. Yeah, okay, good luck with it. Sounds like you got the job, so yeah, I can't fight this fight for you. What you do is make plans. I cannot be your personal assistant, at least not for less than 50 bucks an hour. And even then, not a long-term contract. I'll do it for a month and then I'll get bored. Anyway, this next OP says, am I doing this right? Yeah, social validate me, everybody. Come around, Reddit guys, and hit the updoots if you like it. Probably gonna hate it. I'm only getting more pissy as this goes on. OP says, what's the difference between you and an alarm clock? And she says, I would not like to be touched or turned on by you.
Yeah, you just got rejected. REJECTED rejected.
Okay, that does bring me some semblance of joy. OP says, does that imply that alarm clocks want to be touched? And she said, I don't know, but it does mean I want you to leave me alone. And OP says, damn, I like it when you talk dirty to me like that, girl. See, you could have just taken the L and left, but you're like, I have to make you uncomfortable one last time. Grow the fuck up. Everybody here, it's time now, okay? It's time to grow up.
Grow the fuck up. You're not children anymore.
We don't have to leave childish things behind, but we do have to elevate ourselves. Especially when it comes to communication and personal interactions. Could you do that for me? Thanks. Also, if you could sign up on the Patreon or YouTube memberships, I'd be so grateful. Check out the Fourth Wall, like I said. Many merches for you. As always, I want to remind you, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.
何バカ何バカ何バカ何バカ